Ever seen one of those anime, TV shows, movies, comic book, or the Japanese equivalent manga literally change the very way you see the world or just slam you right in the feels? All in the span of just a few chapters that you can just read in one go. It's like reading Berserk for the first time and feeling the strong hatred for this evil white-haired man, but actually the opposite of that, hopeful and feeling like wanting to become a better person and live life to the fullest. Or stories with moral ambiguity that makes you question everything from right to wrong. You know those anime or manga like Attack on Titan, Code Geass, Fate Zero, Durarara, Monster, etc. Stories where not everything is black and white, where good and evil are not what they seem exactly. Or how the manga Oyasumi Punpun, Goodnight Punpun somehow shows the raw and uncomfortable reality of growing up. Themes of loneliness, the burden of expectations, and simply the search for meaning. What it is to live in the first place and what for. Especially in a world where everyone else seems like they have it all together and it's just you sitting there being left behind. And that is exactly what this manga nails right on the head. The story of Kusunoki, a 20-year-old man who's barely just getting by in life, completely broken and in severe debt to the point that he has to sell everything he owns just to make enough to get by. It's genuinely just sad seeing this guy sell everything that he likes, listening to his last music albums for the last time before he sells them off, just to get some scraps of money so he can just feed himself. At some point even collapsing at his part-time job, so unable to even keep up with making money. Absolutely no direction in life, just lost. That is until his desperation takes him to a place where anyone would least expect it, let alone believe that it's even possible. But banking on the tiniest chance that is true, Kusunoki follows the advice of this sussy old man who tells him that there's a place he can go to and sell his lifespan for money. If I were to hear this, I wouldn't believe it. If you were to hear it, you wouldn't believe it. Or if anyone were to hear this, they wouldn't believe it. But that shows exactly how desperate he is. So desperate that he actually ended up going to this place to see if it's real. A place that would supposedly buy his lifespan. And to his surprise, they're meeting this girl Miyagi who offers him exactly that deal. Well, to be frank, not even that much of a deal after he sees how much his life is worth. His entire life valued to a measly 300,000 yen for 30 years, leaving him with 3 months to enjoy the rest of his life with exactly that amount, 10,000 yen per year. Dude, that's like $100 a year, even less. A deal that he actually ends up taking after that depressing and shocking reveal. And the twist behind this is even more depressing, which you get to find out later in the manga. And according to Miyagi, that amount is the lowest amount, the bare minimum a person can receive, making him question everything he's done so far in life and just how much influence he would have had on this world if he were to live a full life. Well, in this case, it seems like it would be nothing. And part of this transaction involves the girl Miyagi observing him for the remaining 3 months. What a weird system, not gonna lie. But from there on, it's just outright depression and just this sinking feeling of what comes next. In the process, learning more about the observer herself, Miyagi. Him making a bucket list of what he wants to do for this remaining 3 months and then going through his bucket list together and making him realize some cruel truths. And within these small moments, growing as a character, not just Kusunoki but actually Miyagi too, his observer. Don't get me wrong, there's no solution when it comes to his time left. What's done is done. There's not gonna be a happy ending here, we are way past that. Man at some point even ends up throwing away all the money he got. Crazy, right? But once you find out why, it's even more heartbreaking. All that's left now is the rest of his bucket list and his bond with Miyagi. A bond that keeps stressing you out the more you read as Kusunoki and Miyagi grow closer and closer. And that is where I'll leave it when it comes to the story because it is genuinely one of the most beautiful developments I've read. And shortly put, you have to experience it. Especially the small and the big moments these two share together. It's so personal and intimate, it makes you feel so much for the both of them. And the pacing is perfect for it. It starts slow and very hopeless, and then so fast at the end as if you're experiencing time through Kusunoki's eyes. How quickly the happy moments pass. You basically get that same sense of having time slip away progressively faster, along with the crazy little twist and revelation. It's just nice to see a realistic character who's so lost in life find meaning in the tiny amount of life he had left. And in that little time, finding someone who makes his life worth living, and on the other end of it, someone who finds him worth living and dying for all the same. And by the time you have done reading it leaves you feeling empty. At the end of the day, this manga or even the novel 3 Days of Happiness or Mikkakan no Koufuku or the very long title, I Sold My Life for 10,000 yen per year is a story of personal struggle with a supernatural twist that gives us this bittersweet reality check, but also extremely hopeful on hindsight. Something which we, the readers, get to experience. Makes you think about the value of life itself, the concept of time as a currency, how different people can see how different your life's worth, how powerful connections are even in the moments that can slip away just like that, and finally being able to choose how to die. And I cannot stress enough how amazing of a story you would be missing out on if you don't read this. Definitely one of my top manga. But you know what would be even better? If this gets a full-blown anime movie with a good budget. It actually has the perfect pace and length for it, and I would personally love to watch it on the big screen and bawl my eyes out.